Hey guys, in last week's episode of Waveform on Game Voices, I used some vocal effects to turn a clip of Ethan Klein from H3H3 Productions into Bastion from Overwatch. Check out the clip.
I don't know how it can get weirder than this.
This video is going to explain more in detail exactly what my process was and how you can use these same effects to do the same thing to anyone's voice. Okay, let's start things off by listening to Bastion's actual voice and just noting the different qualities of it. Take a look at this equalizer on the right as he speaks. I'll pause it the second time through to show you something. Okay, so this equalizer on the right is showing us something super important, and that's that Bastion does not have just one root note in his voice, he has multiple. The human voice naturally only has one root note, so compared to a real person, Bastion almost sounds like he's singing. If the human voice is playing one note on a piano, Bastion is playing a chord. So the first step was to remove all of the high frequencies of Ethan's voice. I used a basic equalizer here and automated it to follow Ethan's root note just to get even more isolation. Once that was done, I wanted to create 3 copies of that track and pitch them differently to recreate a chord like we saw in Bastion's voice. Those 3 new layers together sounded like this. Now comes the real meat of the effects that are being used here. We're going to add ring modulation. The honest truth is that I know almost nothing about how ring modulators work on the inside, but I do know how it makes things sound. And like a lot of things in the sound design world, that's really the only thing that matters. Ring modulation adds a certain otherworldly quality to sounds, and with stereo spread, it can really make things sound quite robotic and strange. So I added 1 to each of the 3 new tracks we made in the last step, and made sure to add some variation to the frequency knob, again to reinforce the chord idea. This is the step with by far the most trial and error. Most of what came out of these effects was pretty horrible actually. It's just a matter of tweaking until something sounds good. This is what Ethan sounded like after adding the ring modulators. Okay, we're almost there. Now I want to add some effects to the sound as a whole. This is where I added a vocoder, some very light distortion, and finally a compressor. The goal here was to brighten things up and add a little bit more power. The vocoder might look complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. Vocoding is the effect Daft Punk uses to do this. It lets us change the harmonic qualities of a sound based on another signal. And the purpose of it here is just to add some more harmonics and make the sound a little bit more interesting. The distortion is doing exactly the same thing as well, adding harmonics to brighten it up. And then the compressor is on the end, making sure that the whole thing maintains a more consistent volume throughout, so nothing gets crazy loud. This is what the final clip sounds like. It's not a perfect replica of Bastion's voice, but it definitely is a good example of the possibilities and the crazy places you can take just a simple vocal track. Thanks for watching, guys. Give the video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more cool sound stuff. Until next time.